in NWSL between KC and Washington. Obviously, the story with KC so far in their franchise's history, no victories to their name. Washington trying to climb up the NWSL standings on Super Saturday. Marion, here's how KC lines up under coach Hugh Williams. That front three could be very dangerous with A-Rod leading the line.
Absolutely. She is so dangerous in and around the box. And KC, it really is quick. They're speedy down the widths. If we can find Victoria Pickett, if we can find Lola Bonta out wide to create some more chances, they're going to prove problematic for Washington tonight.
We'll see if they can get some opportunities and put Washington on the back foot. Obviously, Leach and Corsi really anchoring that back line in front of Abby Smith. Here's the Washington Spirit starting 11 under coach Richie Burke. Yokoyama gets their start up top, and then a really good front three, or I should say three just behind her, with Trinity Rodman, Ashley Sanchez, and Dorian Bailey.
It's going to be an interesting matchup. This is a really interesting lineup from Washington. It's unfortunate that Hatch is not in the starting lineup tonight. You know, she was really coming into form through those first couple of games in the season, but Ashley Sanchez is going to be such a key player. The way that her and Rodman can connect on the pitch, the way that their movements kind of really complement each other, that is going to be something that Casey is really going to have to hone in on and be conscious of all the time.
And that three behind them, pardon me, Yokoyama obviously getting the start. Going to be interesting to see what they bring to the table.
Absolutely. I would love to see them just stay in and around the box because you have players that can create for you on the widths. So stay somewhere dangerous, make deflections go in, make them go in your favor. Be, this nuisance. Be this ever, for lack of a better term, this ever annoying pest that is just in and around the back line, in and around the keeper. I think that's what they'll bring to the table tonight.
It is also Pride Night tonight in KC. Good crowd on hand for this one as well. Again, it should be a very interesting matchup. Coach Richie Burke told us about KC. It seems like they're getting close. We've got to be ready to go. We don't want them to get it right against us. As KC, you see they're in their Pride home uniforms. Washington getting set to do battle in their road whites. For this one, Laura Rodriguez will be our center official. The crowd's getting into it. It's just great to see fans back at the stadiums around all of the leagues as well in a matchup. But again, just based on the starting lineups, Marion, a lot to look forward to. A lot of interesting things could happen.
This was a matchup that, you put it on paper with the starting 11 that both teams had put out in the previous matches. And it's easy to say that Washington would have had this in the bag, and then we get the starting 11 from both teams, and I were chatting before this, what's going on here? What's going on here? We're missing Kelly O'Hara. She is a key piece for the Washington Spirit. We're missing a lot of players that are actually available in the 18, just not getting the start tonight. So it's going to be an interesting matchup of sub-patterns. It's going to be an interesting matchup of who can come out, get a goal early. But the biggest thing for KC that they have struggled with this season has been those first 5 minutes after restart. So the first 5 minutes of a game, first 5 minutes of halftime, first 5 minutes after a goal, that's when they're kind of having this mental dip. So that's going to be such a key element to their success tonight, especially with the continuous amount of subs I think that we're going to see.
The bench seems like it could be a really big factor as the match goes on. It's going to be interesting to see how both coaches decide to deal with that. Again, KC in their home Pride Reds will be going from left to right. Washington will kick us off in their road whites. Laura Rodriguez, who reffed some games during the fall series, referee since 2018. We await her whistle to start, and we're underway from Kansas to end Super Saturday, presented by Ally, with a fun matchup between KC and Washington.
Introducing tonight's officials. The fourth official is Luis Tralvo. Assistant referees Brooke Mayo and Alicia Messer. And your head referee is Laura Rodriguez.
And Washington on the front foot here. It's a good ball through. Yokoyama, was there a foul? It's on the edge of the penalty area. Nothing given by the referee. Boy, 30 seconds in. Would have been just outside of the arc, outside of the penalty area. Rodman having a word with the referee, questioning the non-call. We play on. Early chance.
And see, that from the get-go from Rodman is exactly what makes her so dangerous. Her spatial awareness, not only of her body position within the window of the goal, but also just the way that she can manipulate a back line and do it in a way that doesn't seem dangerous, and then that burst of speed, oh man, she'll get you quick.
Already has her first goal to her name this season. Daughter of Dennis Rodman, famous NBA basketball player. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Athleticism, speed, and already making an impact in NWSL. Using her pace here to put pressure on Abby Smith. Ball goes out for a throw-in on the far side for KC. You look at the last three meetings. Obviously, KC coming over as the Utah Royals from a season ago. Go back to 2019, 3 matchups. Washington only got 1 win out of them. There was a draw, a win, and a loss to Utah going through August, June, and April in 2019. Ashley Hatch did score, along with Dorian Bailey, in the 2-0 win if you go back to June 1st, 2019. Bailey obviously gets the start. We might see Hatch a little bit later on as well. So there is history between these sides. Again, 18 players came over from Utah into this KC revamped franchise. Again, the FC Kansas City numbers from 2014 to 2017 don't apply here, so those matchups are technically against a different franchise. Although against Kansas City named franchises in general, Washington hasn't had too much success all time. KC could be in with a chance here. Opening shot, and it's in!
Wow.
What about that for a start for the home side? We haven't even played 3 minutes, and the team that's desperately needed a win finds an opening goal. Remarkable start here.
And this is exactly what we were talking about. Which team can come out on fire? We knew that KC was close to breaking through. What a great finish by A-Rod. She just doesn't even have to pick her head up. She's, to be honest, not even in a perfect frame of goal. Just it knows exactly where the goalkeeper is to put that one past her. But right here, these next 5 minutes, this is what I think is going to determine how the rest of this game is going to go. Is KC going to continue to push? Are their energy levels going to pick up? Or are we going to have a mental slip like we have seen them do in the past couple of matches?
Second goal of the regular season, 4th goal if you include the fall series for A-Rod as well. She scored the franchise's first ever goal, and KC has an early bright start for Hugh Williams. And right off the bat, like you said, Marion, already some pressure on the back line. Aubrey Bledsoe, I should say her counterpart Abby Smith, had to be out there in time. There's the confirmation of the Amy Rodriguez strike. And boy, her and the goal just have a good relationship, don't they?
Absolutely. And, you know, we actually talked to Coach Burke about this exact situation when we were talking to him earlier this week. And, you know, he says right now we're not really focusing on much but the mental process, right? How are we mentally in the first 5, the last 5, the first 5 after a goal? And he told them, you know, I want you guys to look internally and say, what can I do as a teammate to make sure that we don't give up something here?
Do the Spirit have an immediate answer? The ball in behind, it could be a chance. Not quite dealt with. Second opportunity, and it's fired well over the top, but that's what Washington can do.
And Washington can come at you really quickly. You know, that was that combination of Sanchez and Rodman right there, that those two, when they get going, when they're on the same page, they're quick, they're crafty, and they only need half a window. They don't need a whole look on goal to get something dangerous off. All they need is a quick look up, a quick strike on goal, and it could be in the back of the net before you know it.
What a first 5 minutes to this game. KC on the front foot, an A-Rod goal to kick us off here, and Washington already showing you that they're not going to let the situation lie there. Wanted to apologize for my miscue during the lineups on the Pro now with Kumi Yokoyama. Obviously, they've had a big week. They came out, obviously, and with so much pride and courage. Obviously, it's great to see them in the starting lineup as well. Coach Richie Burke told us they're ready for it, and obviously they're going to need them to be big today. And obviously, Washington now is already looking for an equalizer after a crazy start to this game.
Especially with Ashley Hatch, on the bench. She is available, but we were told she was on some injury protocol and that they would be getting the start tonight should she not be available. And like I said, Yokoyama will be key to their success staying in and around the goal. An incredible finisher. So it'll be interesting to see how the Spirit is without Hatch, but it'll also be interesting to really see what they bring to the table. Oh, crafty.
Cleared away by KC. One goal already in 7 minutes. Really putting a shine early on the occasion. But we know even with Washington not at full strength, we still have a lot of fun twists and turns potentially in this game.
And this early lead for KC is even more important because we know that fatigue for them is setting in. They have played such a heavy week schedule, 3 games in a week. Mentally, it's exhausting. Physically, it's exhausting. And to be honest, not having a win in any of those makes it even more exhausting. So for them, having this early lead is huge. And now you need to do everything to make sure that you don't give up something soft, to make sure that you make Washington come in and earn a goal if they're going to score one.
Yokoyama with the pressure. Edmonds trying to find a teammate on the near side to no avail. McGrady quickly picks it up.
Hey, settle down and build a rhythm.
Talked about it earlier. We'll get to more from Coach Burke in a second. Meanwhile, Silva is down here for KC. That's not a good sign. Hopefully she's okay. She'll get attended to.
And what a dynamic player Silva is. You hope that she's okay, especially so early on. She brings so much talent, so much speed and athleticism to this lineup.
And both teams made a few changes in this game as Coach Williams looks on. A bit concerned. He's got to be thrilled with the start, obviously, to the game. Now one of his attacking threats.
Fans, authentic and replica jerseys are on sale now.
Attended to.
100 and 102. Pick up the NWSL's hottest
Just tuning in, Ivy Rodriguez, inside of 3 minutes, opened the sscoring for KC. Only 2 points for Kansas City so far this season. Silva able to walk off the pitch under her own power, and that's great to see.
Your attention, please. Rodriguez and Stephanie.
And you mentioned it earlier, in that conversation we had with Coach Burke. He said we don't want to be the team where KC finally gets it right. And yes, they only have 2 points to their name as a franchise right now, but I don't think that speaks for itself entirely. I think, again, it's been some of the mental lapses, not anything to do with skill or with talent that KC is lacking. It's just putting away that extra mental effort to make sure that we're locked in, we're keyed in on the things that we need to, and that we don't just get lost in this moment. And this is a big moment. This would be a huge moment in their franchise.
Lost 3-1 to Orlando Pride last time. Now we mentioned the Mariana Lorraquette goal, the equalizer at the time in the 53rd minute. Orlando went on to win the game. KC looking for a second. I'm not sure if that was intentional. Goalkeeper Bledsoe had to be sure. Did not take any chances. It also didn't get a touch on it, I don't think, either.
I'm not sure this was intentional or not, but it definitely kept Bledsoe honest. And a well job done by A-Rod and by the other right wing player to be on that back post looking for anything. I think that's what Silva was trying to do, was send that service on the back post. But hey, I'm all for keeping a goalkeeper honest, especially this early.
Luckily for Bledsoe, they didn't beat her. Went just over the top. McGrady gets the benefit of the bounce to throw in for Washington.
Good choice.
A lot for Richie Burke to think about in these first 11 and a half minutes of this game. Obviously, Washington trying to keep pace at the top of the NWSL table. Yokoyama, good ball in behind here. Could be a chance. Swung across. Rodman was in there. And in the end, it falls harmlessly to Smith.
And this is what makes Washington so dangerous. They can beat you out to in. They can beat you inside runs to out. They can do it all in the attacking front, and they have runs coming from so many different places, from that deep midfield position like we just saw, from their wing players making those back post runs into the box. That's what makes Washington so dangerous in the attack. You saw Rodman come over all the way from the right side to that near post. They're very, very dynamic with what they do in the attacking third.
More pressure now from Kansas City. They do well. They win a throw pretty high up the field. Trying to latch onto this early momentum from that A-Rod goal. Edmonds available if needed. She swings in a pretty good cross. Cleared away by the back line. And KC will gear up again. That's the other thing. A lot of times when teams that need a win get on the front foot, they don't always capitalize, but KC have. Can they keep this momentum going, or will Washington snatch it back from them? They keep possession here, KC. And it was a good idea over the top, but in the end, harmlessly rolls to Aubrey Bledsoe.
Now she's dropped in. Yes. Good. Good. Yes, Ash. Good.
Last time KC, this franchise, beat Washington, they were the Utah Royals, obviously. Lo Labonta scored off a Christian Press assist back on April 20th, 2019. It finished 1-0. Current scoreline at the moment in this game. Obviously a long way to go, but the start that Coach Williams had to have been hoping for in days leading up to this game. That's been the feeling, right? KC's got so much talent, so much experience. Their place in the table doesn't really suit them for the effort and for the talent they have. That's one of the reasons Richie Burke said it's only a matter of time before they get it right. They're off to the right start in this match.
And to really counterattack that, Richie Burke, made the point that we're fine as a team if we don't have the ball all the time. That doesn't really bother us. Let's stay compact and let's make sure that we don't get split down the middle. That's what he told us, and you can absolutely tell that that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to stay compact. They're trying to just keep the ball in front of them.
Oh, a miscue here. Massive save from Bledsoe. Goodness. It was a miscue on a pass back. Bledsoe, so alert. It could have been 2-0 in a flash. But she makes a phenomenal save.
What a good job from Bledsoe to be so keenly aware that that was even a possibility. That's something that a lot of keepers can be caught flat-footed there.
Crucial early in this match with KC on the front foot. It could have easily been a second. And again, KC with the right idea, trying to slash through the middle. That time to no avail.
Good. And again, shot. Hold it.
Washington over the top. And
Hey, just one at a
Rodman
time,
couldn't
Just
quite
stand with
control
mine.
it. Edmonds gets it back into play for KC.
A little bit of both, Fred. A little bit of both here. Here.
Fight forward in the midfield. KC regained possession after briefly losing it. Rodriguez the target over the top. Will be brought back for a free kick.
Come! Let's get going!
Just a few moments ago, KC had a chance off a miscue. Bledsoe, huge save.
Absolutely. A-Rod is probably kicking herself, wanting that one back, but just such keen awareness from Bledsoe. I mean, man, does she have such an impressive few stat lines as a goalkeeper in the NWSL. Again, it's to this point that Washington is such a talented team. KC is such a talented team. Looking at them on opposite sides of the paper, doesn't seem like it's even going to be a matchup. We get some different lineups in here. We get some subbing craziness. And, I mean, KC's up 1-0 and something that most people wouldn't have thought would happen.
It's also about just being clinical when you get a chance in front of goal. And there's anybody in this league, there's probably a few that are right in this conversation, but there's not many that would go ahead of Amy Rodriguez when it comes to chances like that. Obviously, she was denied the second time off a phenomenal save by Bledsoe, but she's got the one that's important at the moment that separates the sides and has gotten KC in a very positive mood at the moment. Very vibrant in these opening 17 and a half minutes.
And what can happen sometimes when you have a player like Amy Rodriguez sitting in between your two center backs, they get so occupied, both of them get so occupied on someone of that stature that it opens up a lot of lanes and a lot of gaps for some other really talented attackers on this KC roster.
Easier said than done, obviously, when it comes to dealing with A-Rod. You can talk about everything you can do to try and stop her.
Sammy!
Sometimes the great ones just find a way regardless. KC have it back again. Initially Pickett. Now near side Silva. Free kick appeal, referee doesn't acknowledge.
Sammy, relax!
Did the ball stay in play?
Over your
It
shoulder!
did not. Quick throw into the penalty area. Silva from Rodriguez. Good job defensively by the Spirit, and it's cleared away. But it's back in KC. Free kick appeal. We get a first look at Lola Bonta. Another dynamic KC player. And this is a pretty dangerous position for this set piece.
Absolutely. She has the opportunity to shoot. She's got the opportunity to
Let's get
put
going!
in a very, very dangerous ball. How she lines up, we'll be able to tell a lot.
KC already have the lead. Can they add another?
On our toes! Come on!
Labonta with a really good ball in. A crucial touch to clear it away. And Washington
Get around
deal with the
us!
set piece. Feels like the attacks are coming in waves now for KC these first 20 minutes. Washington really has only had the one side of
Sam!
goal.
Come on, Sam!
Rodman blasted it over the top. Now Rodriguez. Silva runs into three Spirit players.
Come on! Together work! Come on!
And here's what's happening here. You know, what makes Washington such a good team is their ability to keep possession and to do it well and to do it in long threads, but also to do it at pace and to really penetrate. Right now, they're doing the hard work. They're doing all the defensive work. They're stopping and making big shot stops. They're making, you know, all of these great defensive plays just to give it away. And so when Washington doesn't have that possession-oriented mindset, they're not the best that they can be.
Rodman with a really good ball in behind. Washington with a chance, takes a deflection, and a corner on the near side.
And
Really
then on
good
that
ball in
opposite
behind.
side, what KC has been doing well is not what you just saw, but what they have been doing well has been keeping that pressure really high up the line, really keeping those balls locked in, winning those first and second balls so that the dangerous Washington attack doesn't do what they just did.
Set piece opportunity for Coach Richie Burkside. You've heard him a few times on the sideline just trying to tell his team, let's get going. We need to get the energy back here. They've got an opportunity on a set piece. It's a really good ball, and it was touched aside and out for another corner on the opposite end. Might have been Rachel Corsi with a crucial touch that kind of helped it along. Washington will get another look at it from a different angle. McGrady will take it. Lofted up. Washington trying to keep possession from it. Getting back in near the penalty area. Yokoyama initially. Washington still has players queuing up in the penalty area. It's not dealt with here. Yokoyama. A second try, Yokoyama. Oh boy, Abby Smith maybe caught in two minds there on the first attempt. Yokoyama down as well. Hopefully they're okay. They went all out trying to get the second ball there as Smith was taking their time on the second opportunity. Wasn't sure if she was going to commit. Great follow-up, though, by Yokoyama just to keep the goalkeeper honest.
Absolutely. You can see that they realized it wasn't going to be the best shot. They followed up almost immediately, and I'm not sure that Smith really understood what kind of a bounce that was going to take. I think it really caught her by surprise, and I don't know if there was, much of a collision there, if it was more Smith, if it was more Brown, but almost a really dangerous opportunity on a miscue again.
Yokoyama going through a concussion protocol there just to make sure they're okay. We'll keep an eye on that. Play continues. And again, Washington trying to gain a foothold into this game. That's a good sign from their point of view. And the offside flag goes up against KC in the meantime. Yokoyama returns. Always great to see the proper precautions being taken just in case. You never know really nowadays. Especially what we know about that field now. It always pays to make sure. But now Washington getting a little bit of a spell of possession here.
Sully's dead! Good, good!
Rodman tried to get to it. KC pick it off. Into the midfield, Pickett. Assessing her options. Now Edmonds trying to join in on it. And trying to backtrack on McGrady. Washington do well under the pressure.
In the back, ref!
Do very well to find Yokoyama. And again. Coach Bailey initially, Coach Richie Burke had a lot of high praise for her. Washington again trying to cut through the KC back line unsuccessfully. And foul for Jenkins initially, and then KC will reset. Edmonds, who's already been dangerous at times down this near side, puts in a really good ball in behind. Centering pass could be on here. Will she go alone? It's still not dealt with. Shot comes in. Oh, what an effort. More great build-up play from KC. And Silva nearly made it a second.
Yeah, you see Jenkins, she wants it. She was trying to find that window any way she can. Did well to keep a clearance in the box and just wide, just high from Silva. But this KC offense has been really dangerous early on, and it's almost like, you know, yes, they have played 3 games in a week. Can you tell? Because I can't. Because, I mean, their offensive power, it's almost like they tapped into something else that has given them this energy, this spark so far in the final third.
Well, we did talk about, you know, both teams making changes. That could be the power of fresh legs being in there. Hugh Williams has got to be maybe not showing it physically, but beaming about the first 26 and a half. His team has been the better side so far.
They've just done such a good job of really defending as a unit. And I don't mean that in their defensive third. I really mean that, you know, from their attacking half on, they have locked every clearance. They have won every ball. And I really think that's been the difference for them to be able to get those opportunities on goal.
To be fair, Washington have had a few opportunities, most notably on set pieces. Not much to speak of, and they say attack sometimes can be the best form of defense. KC having a lot of the possession seems to have led to that so far.
Hey!
High boot there is going to give it back to Washington. Goal scored by Amy Rodriguez back in the 3rd minute, basically the first chance of the game for Kansas City, and A-Rod took it. Since then, KC have had the better of it. They've nearly made it a second. Bledsoe came up with a big save about 5 minutes after that.
Come on, midfield!
And Washington have had a couple of set-piece opportunities, but despite some hesitation from Abby Smith a few moments ago on a scramble in the penalty area, not much else to speak about for the Spirit so far.
Good football, well done! Good football, well done!
Spirit are able to play their way initially out of the back. They'll recycle it.
Come on, Cam!
KC, no wins in 4 games in the Challenge Cup, 3 losses and a draw. They've obviously had the tough start to the regular season as well. 11 matches without a win. That's actually an expansion record in the NWSL by actually quite a distance as well. 6 was the previous record. But they're trying to put that to bed tonight. Silva putting the pressure on, forces it out for a throw. Richie Burke's side, 1-1 draw against Chicago. Last time out, he said we were really frustrated with the way it ended. Obviously, Rodman scored in the 85th. Looked like it was going to hold up as the winner. But 7 minutes later, deep into injury time, the Red Stars found a leveler.
Come on, Ash! You ready, Trent?
Coach Burke kind of mentioned it to us. It's part of that motivation that goes into a week of training. Dealing with those mental lapses that Washington have had at times defensively this season. It's great that we've gone unbeaten in our last 4, but we could have won all 4 of those games. We probably should have won all 4 of those games, and that was a big message in training this week. To keep it up, but also get the results.
And that's really been the story for both of these teams. You know, these late goal allowances that both of these teams have had, and we've been talking so much about it being, you know, KC's attitude towards the next 5, the first 5, the last 5, but that's also Washington's, because that's been their problem as well. That's why I think this is such a fun matchup, because both teams have been struggling with the same thing. It just seems that KC has been struggling a bit more from a paper's perspective.
Silva does well. Corner for KC, just past the half-an-hour mark in the first half. Lola Bonta will come over looks like to take it. What can KC come up with from this? First, just making sure the corner flag's not a 12th defender. Here it comes. It's a little low, scuffed it a bit. Washington are able to come out here. Maybe numbers if they hurry. That's a crucial tackle, though. And KC do really well to get back and keep possession. Could have been a fast break opportunity. Now, can KC counter the counter here? Good call for it on the near side. Offside flag, though. Goes up against Jenkins, who had the right idea. Just made the run a little too early.
What a great job by KC, though. I believe that tackle was from Mallory Weber, number 20. Crucial tackle, and then does well to make it a progressive pass and then into the run of attack. And unfortunately, an offsides call there, but.
More good play from KC. Jenkins wins it back again. Edmonds, lovely, then gives it away. McGrady was able to find Sanchez. The Spirit are forced back.
Hey, cover for her, cover for her.
Collision there. It's going to be a Washington free kick. Jenkins not thrilled with the decision by the referee.
One player went for the ball. Hey, referee! Who handed the ball there?
Washington gets the free kick. Just inside their own half.
What? What do you want? Okay, he's supposed to talk to me, not you.
Then don't yell at her.
Bailey wins another free kick. Ooh, and the referee will brandish a yellow card for Lola Bonta's challenge. First player's name to be taken tonight. And to be fair to Labonta, I think that was really the first challenge she's made that was questionable tonight, but the referee has no hesitation.
One player heads the ball, right?
Maybe a little bit of a harsh decision, but now a set piece to deal with for KC defensively.
To me, that was a call that says, I'm going to keep this game in control. Maybe not so much as you deserve it, but let's not let things get out of hand.
McGrady runs over it. Sullivan takes it. Maybe goes a little bit too far. And in the end, it's out for a goal kick. Not much for KC to have to deal with on that set piece.
So far in this first half, that's really been Washington's, bread and butter, have been the set piece opportunities, and they just haven't been good enough on them. Whether that has been the execution of the delivery, whether that's just been connecting with the pass. I can count 4, I believe, so far that have been really good opportunities for Washington, and they haven't capitalized.
Get up. If you're not sure.
KC again build from the back. Really good interplay again on this near side. Edmonds has been involved in a lot of it. Lovely to the near side. Jenkins in behind. Silva couldn't quite get it across. More dangerous play from the home side.
Come on, Krista, just in case.
Washington let off the hook for now. KC surging again. And referee will penalize KC there and bring it back for a free kick. And Bonta might still be down. Another look. Again, it was Bledsoe who was tested, and she was up for it, although that would have been a tough angle for Silva to find a teammate or score.
I would have loved to see Silva just lay that one down to the player making that back post run. But what an incredible run by her to find that seam, a great time delivery into her run. Unfortunately, she was a little bit outside of that frame of goal. It would have been a tough shot. The only play, in my opinion, was to be able to slot that one back across the face and hope you have a delayed run. I think you had, I believe it was A-Rod who was on that backside, who seemed to have her defender beat.
The other thing is, again, Lola Bonta's up and looks to be okay after that challenge. She has to be careful because she just got booked a few minutes ago. Went in for another dangerous tackle. Now the ball flared over the top. Sanchez into the penalty area, falls down, then, or I should say, blocks the first attempt on the clearance. Keeps it alive for Washington.
Pick her up, pick her up.
Couple of Spirit players queuing up, but again, great defensive work on that far side by Casey, and they alleviate the pressure by winning a free kick. And LaBonta's in the middle of it again.
Man, has she done a good job on both sides of the ball, though. She tracks back when she needs to. She makes things happen in the attack when she needs to. She is that engine for this KC midfield.
Maybe complaining that, well, if I got a yellow earlier, that might have been a yellow-worthy challenge, but not to be.
I'm not sure she's wrong. I'll say that.
I will say this. Referee is not a position that I would want to do. That's for sure.
I
They
second
make tough
that.
decisions. And a lot of them do an amazing job. No question about that. The Yeoman's work. Abby Smith will clear this. And forward by LaBonta. Silva on that far side giving chase. Lola Bonta again. Again, does really well. Dealt with two Spirit defenders. Wins another throw. Threw it over Rodriguez. Casey not able to control it initially. They get it back here. Silva again. Has LaBonta to her left. First time ball in by LaBonta. Could fall for Jenkins. Could fall for another chance. And it's skewed wide by Edmonds. Well, it fell on a plate for her. And again, great KC buildup. But the shot does not hit the target.
Boy, is she going to want this one back. Just a deflection right at the top of the box. She's running in full stride, and the excitement gets the better of her, sails it high. And she knows as a right back, that may be her only look on goal today. You saw her reaction.
Now Washington's turn here. Yokoyama was the initial target. Again, Casey putting in so much extra work at the back. Washington, though, pick it up in a dangerous position here. Sanchez not able to run onto it. McGrady helps out. Sanchez sizing it up and then maybe over dribbling it. Again, Washington can try again. Sonnet. Oh, nice ball flicked over the top, out wide. Give and go potential here. Shot hits a defender, ball floated in towards the goalkeeper, Smith, and she uses her verticality to corral it.
You have the worst job in the world.
Another look.
Are you serious now? You think that this is right call?
Smith has been so impressive. Got her first PK save this season. In that same game, I believe she had 20 shots taken against her. You talk about referees not being what you want to do. I would never want to be a goalkeeper.
Christine Sinclair is who she saved the penalty against. It's a heck of a name to be taken. Actually, how many times we've all seen her score over the years. It's amazing that she gets stopped ever, let alone that being your first penalty kick save. That's a heck of a feather in the cap. Edmonds will get it back underway. She's been vibrant so far. And back to work with A-Rod here. Washington forces it all the way back. Leach back to the goalkeeper, Smith. So Rodman came up a little slow there. Play continues. KC have it with Rodriguez through the middle. Crucial touch by Tegan McGrady. Or A-Rod could have been in for another chance.
Absolutely. Just one half touch, and that would have been A-Rod gone and by. You know, this is one of the first games I think we've all seen KC just really seem comfortable on both sides of the ball. You know, you can tell with A-Rod kind of checking in that deeper role. She feels comfortable. She wants to keep that possession, those little short movement passes that have been working well and opening up gaps for them. And then defensively, that defensive work has just been key.
Labonta. Good searching ball forward. Defensively, though, Washington up for the task. Labonta, though, continues to put the pressure on. Wins a throw. Right into Edmonds. Over the top for Silva. That might be a corner. It is. Great work there as well. Jenkins. Should say Silva, pardon me. And a corner for KC.
And, you know, this all started because of that defensive work. You know, Labonta did not let that, but it's this immediate pressure. And I credit their fitness a lot because these girls have been running on all ends of the pitch. Labonta did an incredible job to keep that pressure on the Washington Spirit back line. And, you know, a couple passes later, here we are with the corner.
Labonta sends it in towards the back post. Headed centrally. Bledsoe wraps it up. Getting towards the end of the first half, where are the Spirit for you as far as trying to get a foothold into this game?
I think their biggest key to this game is going to be attacking with numbers.
KC are doing that in the meantime. Rodriguez! Crucial block. It falls for Silva. A shot flies in from well outside the penalty area. Ambitious. And just as we ask more questions of Washington, so do KC.
So that will be the first thing is, you know, can we figure out a way to continue to do the hard work, continue to make these big defensive stops, but also make sure that we keep possession and we put ourselves in good places on the field. Right now, that's the issue. They're turning the ball over way too many times, but that also comes with not having the movement around the ball that you need to have, right? So when we do see Washington get into this middle and this attacking third, where are the rest of the numbers? Right now it seems a bit disconnected between the defensive third, the midfield third, the attacking third. And so once Washington figures out their possession, and they will, they're a possession-oriented team, they will figure out what's not making them click. The next thing is going to be to get more numbers forward and get more numbers into dangerous parts of the field.
Sullivan. Give and go with Yokoyama. A bit of appeal for a free kick there. Referee lets it play on. Now, as you see, 3 added minutes at the end of this first half. KC trying to push this forward into a dangerous area. They'll get a throw-in after the tackle by Emily Sonnet.
That was a great read by Sonnet because I would have loved to see Silva play that 1.5 touches earlier into that hard run we saw Labonta making from the deep midfield. But, you know, going back to what Washington needs to do to have a better second half, right? What is really happening is, like we keep talking about, KC is putting in the defensive work, and they're getting so many numbers behind the ball that's why it's forcing Washington to, if you're going to possess, you're going to have to do it at a much quicker pace and with a lot more numbers. So great game plan, honestly, from KC, and it's showing off here in the first half. They're clicking.
2 more minutes of the added time, 3 minimum added on at the end of the first half. One thing that KC haven't done, they've done basically everything else, is find a second goal. They've had multiple chances, mostly through the goal scorer Rodriguez, who has it now, had it initially, and it's a goal kick. Again, we've been giving A-Rod a lot of love, but Aubrey Bledsoe has kept Washington in with a chance with a couple of big saves.
Nothing long.
Jimmy, higher! Higher!
Coming long. Silva, go with it. Get it. Coming long. Coming
Sam
long.
Staub. Over the top, looking for Rodman. Sanchez. Now Bailey. Dorian Bailey. And the goalkeeper Smith just lets it run out harmlessly for a goal kick.
And that was a great look and a great individual effort. But again, to that point, there I think were 3 white jerseys and a whole sea of red players. And so we're seeing the game get stretched, really stretched, especially from Washington's perspective. And you know, Richie Burke did mention, you know, his team is running on fumes, and we're struggling with some injuries. We do have some fatigue. So I'm sure that is playing a role. Travel at any level is difficult to deal with. So, you know, you may have heavy legs. And so I think we're going to see a whole different Washington team come out in the second half.
They might get a chance here at the end of the first half. Yokoyama runs onto this. Takes aim, has it blocked. Could fall for Sanchez. Another clearance out of harm's way, and that's the end of the first half. What a start to this game for Kansas City in search of their first win as a franchise. Amy Rodriguez scoring 3 minutes into the match. Bit of back and forth. Casey's had the better of it, though, in the first 45. Washington has plenty to talk about at the half. But again, Amy Rodriguez takes it early, as she always seems to. And at the half, it's Kansas City 1, Washington Spirit 0. We look forward to the second half from KC.